Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. We are playing with the Ashes of Malmouth expansion as a Necromancer, which is a new class. And we are currently getting ambushed by zombies. Wonderful. We find ourselves in the underground transits, and today is going to be the day where we will face down Warden Krieg and punish him for all that he's done. At least that's the story we tell, right? In reality, it's all about the loot. It's really mercenary like that, but story's got to be told. It's always better when you tell a story about it. In between episodes, I emptied my pockets and I crafted myself a relic. We now have a calamity, which sounds ominous. It does a little bit of physical damage, and it has a calamity 5% chance on attack to just shoot projectiles that explode for some physical and fire damage, and that burn a little bit over time. It's from the level 18 relics. It is the least bad one for our particular purposes. At level 25 we will gain access to Sanctuary, which is actually a defensive one instead of an offensive one, granting us access to a pretty strong, especially for the level, physical damage reduction or a physical damage absorption shield whenever we receive a critical hit. It's 2500 points of shielding for, now if you look at my health bar, 2100. Absorbing 1.2 times your health bar in terms of in physical damage with just a proc shield. That's pretty neat. And then at level 35 my real goal will be to craft myself a savage relic, and the reason for that is very simple. It grants us another minion. It allows us to summon a Stormhound, which is a permanent minion, very much like this hound over here, but it won't disappear after 22 seconds. Instead, it will actually linger on and on and on. We have actually now arrived at my favorite part of the entire underground mess beneath the Warden's hideout. And that is the... oh, hello there, Mr. Magefire. I'm assuming Ulrich is a male name. That sounds very male. Also, you managed to kill all my minions, and for that you must die. But this is the favorite part, simply because there are a lot of crystals to be found here. And there is a rather efficient run that you can make here. So I'm making it in reverse right now. Usually you end up in this room, but we're now doing the circuit in reverse. That was a calamity firing. Let's see, just make him run away, do some damage. And then we'll just focus on dealing with these clusters while the minions deal with the enemies. Some damage coming in. Well, the artillery zombies, of course, they are doing damage here, and our fire resistance 65%, so it's respectable, but there's also a rather decent physical component to their damage, I suspect. Well, similar to how it is with Calamity. And that, of course, still hurts. Okay. Another one. We do keep losing quite a bit of our skeletons. Something I'll have to work on. Making them a little tougher, or just getting even more distractions up in the air. Or getting better at just scaring the enemies away. Ill Omen is a very nice skill, but I do have to use it for it to have effect. If I forget to use Ill Omen, well, then we're never gonna scare the enemies away, and then of course my minions never get to really backstab them. And then the last one over here. And then there's the waypoint. So as I said, we're doing it in reverse here. The hidden laboratory, or the Warden's laboratory. Waypoint is usually where I start my run, and then I just run it this way. You can also go through here, skip this room. It's a little shorter, then you just do top, 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 and then now go back to the main menu, and then just rejoin the game again. And you can do the run again, and again, and again, and get yourself quite a lot of crystals in the process. So the hidden laboratory has a couple of interesting things along the way. There's actually a pretty well hidden section, a cave network that has a lot of spiders in them. And now if you get a lucky run, then you might even encounter like 2 or 3 unique enemies. Let's see, it's not this one, it's a little further. So this looks like the ground here is corrosive. It actually is. Wonderful. Do like it when the game is consistent that way. And a Crimson Bane. That's not quite what I was expecting, but you're dead anyway. There's also a couple of named ones here. Gethrand and Zarbrand. There we are. And I think we have been picking up quite a bunch of lore books without actually reading them. Yeah, like that. So, free experience. Speaking of experience, we gained a level. So, another point did we get? Nope, one more. Wonderful. So, modifier to siphon souls. What's it gonna do? Increases the duration, reduces the damage, and fatality becomes ether damage. Okay. So if we extend the duration, then the health regeneration penalty is going to apply for a longer time. Not entirely sure if that's a good thing for us. So let's hold off on that. We have a soul harvest. Anytime we use bone harvest, we're gonna get a damage bonus both for ourselves and for our pets. And down here we have Mark of Torment. Only one enemy can be marked at a time, and for the duration of the skill, which is a whole whopping 3 seconds, we absorb 25% of all the damage that gets dealt to us, and 160% of the damage absorbed is reflected back at the attacker, or at whatever the skill has been cast on. And it has a 16-second recharge. I don't know, it's a little bit of a panic button, I would say. If I would say a boss is just trying to wear you down, just hitting you over and over, and then it's just charging up for a really big attack, like a big troll with an overhead slam attack. If you hit Mark of Torment just before that, then you instantly take 25% less of the damage, and you reflect a multiple of that back at the boss. Given that it is an active skill, let's put this on our bar. Leveling it up increases the duration, increases the absorption, and increases the reflection. So if the trend here continues, then we might actually make it last for 8 or so seconds. If there's diminishing returns, then it might end at 5. I must admit I forgot what it is going to be at level 10. It is a useful defensive skill, at least from the looks of it. This, especially in combination with a soldier that already has some means of giving you always on damage absorption, or arcanists, they also have it via the bubble. What is it? Maven's Sphere of Protection, if I remember correctly. There are interesting ways to use damage absorption and weaponize it via Mark of Protection. Okay. So that's some lore, and I keep veering off to the bottom left. Hello there, Catherine. You have been betrayed. So, and we'll just bubble up here. Oh, we are surrounded. And that was the bubble. Wonderful. 1 unique down. Plenty more uniques to go. Ooh, and a scrap. Just looking at my hotbar, I must say there are quite a number of buttons to press. Now, 2 of them are for permanent minions. That's the skeletons as well as the stitches look alike. If I manage to keep them alive, that's 2 buttons that I don't have to press. But we are building up a nice supply of just situational skills. Is this a way forward? No, still not. At some point I'll find it. We of course have Ill Omen that chases enemies away, and we have attached the thingamabob to it, the shepherd's call. Oh, on Ill Omen it has an 84% chance to trigger. It's one of the nice things that the lower frequency skills do have an increased chance to trigger them. And this is a way in, but before we go there, let's quickly raid this stash. Wonderful. Then we got Blood Drinker. It comes from our Hollowed Fang items. Usually if you want to push your damage. See, there are some uniques. Let's clear out our flanks. Now we have Shepherd's Call, a manual damage bonus for our pets. Also a health regen. That actually is rather useful. So if we do that, then they might actually have a bit of a chance here. There's 2 heroes in here. Now there's only 1. And then there were 0. Wonderful. And now we need to recast our skeletons. So did we get anything useful? Not quite. Shaman's Wand of Conflagration. +1 to Monk Dragon's Pact. And Fire Strike is a demolitionist skill, but the damage bonuses misalign a little bit. And the boots. A pet bonus, but unfortunately the other thing is only a little bit of health. So, yeah, not all that wonderful. So this is really in the middle here. Ooh, another 2 heroics. I think I did mention this is one of my favorite areas in the early parts, just because it is hidden and there's just so many bosses in here. It always feels like a treat, like a reward to go here. Okay, we got ourselves 2 blues. Curse of Burwitch, a occultist crossbow, thanks to the Curse of Frailty, and a Gut Wrench Eviscerator, a 2-hander with an affinity for bleeding damage. A little bit of an upgrade, but of course I don't want to part with this subjugator's thingamabob. Cool, and then lots of cocooned remains with even more loot. So with that out of the way, we can set course for the big bad himself, Mr. Warden. Ah, here is the tunnel I was looking for. So we actually passed by it. So the moment you get down the stairs, then look for the spider webs and then go through there, rather than taking the long route. Though, oh, in all fairness, we did find some nice things there. Okay, oh, we need to refresh our skeletons again. And then we push forward. Oh, and zombies appear out of the ground. Not really a problem, but it is something to keep in account, because if you're running into a room expecting your skeletons to follow, but instead the skeletons get left behind in a previous room, well, accidents might ensue. Battle Axe, that is a one-hander. Has a bit of a vitality damage theme, +1 to drain essence. We don't use drain essence. The health leech and attack speed and stuff is kind of alright. But it actually be a bad one. Simply because it gives us even more life leech. So I think we help with 2 of the hollowed fangs, which give 5% life leech each. We do have 10% life leech on all of our attacks, which effectively is 10% life leech on Bone Harvest, as well as on the standard attacks that follow. Okay. And all of that life leech, of course, helps us stay alive. Keep in mind that hero enemies do have hero resistances, hero armor, and that does make them a lot more tanky than you would like on the one hand, but on the other hand it also gives them resistance to things like crowd control, but also to life leech and health reduction on targets and things like that. Okay, let's just refresh our stitches, dude. Wonderful. Okay, something is still attacking us in the back. Some more of the burning zombies. And then just a double check. We didn't level. We got some more loot. Another one of these mutant bludgeons. Small bonus to vitality, chaos damage, resistance. Actually, these pants are pretty darn cool. We'll upgrade into them later. For now though, we have a boss to defeat. Warden Krieg. Here I come, whether you are ready or not. Whether I am ready or not. I seem to remember him as being taller. Okay, not the self. I'm not a tank. I probably shouldn't be in range. Oh, I shouldn't be in melee range with you. I got minions for that. Okay. First stage defeated. Our minions are still alive. We have stitches still. Wonderful. Just trying to reflect some damage at him. Omen. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, just gonna take a little bit more of a commander role here, though he is rather determined to keep attacking me. Just finish him with a bone harvest. Yeah. Wonderful. That is one warden down. This is a nice change of pace from my soldier. I played a retaliation soldier on the hardcore before this. Managed to get all the way to ultimate and face the Loghorian there. But boy, that was a slow build. A fun build, but very much a slow build to play, and we are much squishier. Actually have to pay attention to my health bar, actually have to move out of combat and use some ranged attacks here. But we took him down rather quickly compared to what I'm used to from my previous build. We got ourselves a bolt spitter, which is a bit lower in damage. It's a ranged weapon. One of the things I have been thinking of is, no, you can combine Bone Harvest with a ranged weapon, I think. It doesn't say that you have to use a melee weapon. It has a 7-meter range, so if something comes within 7 meters, Bolt Spitter, or no, a ranged weapon will automatically, of course, cast Bone Harvest. Otherwise it will just hold off and shoot bolts at whatever is trying to murder you. Though the damage types might not be entirely ideal there. Still, it's something that is interesting to try. We got a Tainted Brain Matter, which of course is useful for crafting. And we got some other things that might not be great. Ooh. I like it. I want this, I need this. The damage affinity is not great, the fire stuff. But +2 to raise skeletons and +1 to the summon limit of raised skeletons. We get a skeleton for free and we don't even have to put more points into Undead Legion. So, and on top of that, the damage, if we ignore the Hollowed Fang, damage is actually already higher. So this is going to be a win-win situation. I do like it when you get something that is really nice for your build from defeating a boss such as the Warden. So, time to head back to town, have a chat with Captain John Bourbon. And then...
Is it finished? Is the Warden dead?
Yep, ding dong, Warden's dead. Okay, and we gained a level.
You must be the kid that's caught. Before we do what?
Very well, wonderful. Got some scrap from you. That's nice setup to fixing at the bridge. Yeah, we gained a level. Let's spend our points. 1 point goes into soul harvest, so whenever we use the bone harvest, we also harvest some souls, which is going to be good. And I think, yeah, we were not going to grab Seer Souls. So let's put the other point in our mastery bar. Wonderful. So it's still early in the episode. Well, relatively early compared to some of the other episodes. We already had a review of all the green items that dropped, so we didn't really care. We can just stash these away and have a quick look at the other items. So yeah, it's going to be a nice thing for the remainder of the episode. Just have a quick look at the gear we got, upgrade things, and then fix the bridge and call it an episode. And the next episode we can set forth into Act 2. Oh yeah, we actually got 2 upgrades. So this is going to be our weapon. These are going to be our pants, and this is just a fun item to put away. And this is not actually a relevant item anymore because we have something better. So drop in, drop in. So the limits of our skeletons is now 5. So the 4, you see a small section of it is shaded out, indicating it is not complete, so you can cast it, and now we are at 5. So soonish we actually will need to cast it twice to even get a full complement of minions. This one can be sold, and let's see. Yep. These points. We probably want to grab the Hollowed Fang from this and put it in. On the other hand, maybe just craft another one and keep the weapon. Oh, I was talking about some of the upgrades. Savage is what I would like at level 35. What I would like to craft. It's not a gift from Santa, it is actually something I have to make myself. But Summon Stormhound, it is yet another minion, so that is gonna be nice. It's not a vitality minion, but it is a minion, so I think I should be able to keep it. Hollowed Fang. Yes. It's very nice when you have a lot of crystals. You can actually craft components without thinking too much about it. So let's go in. One of the the vitality bonus is nice. Just everything from Hollowed Fang is really nice for this build. I really like it. We were using a silk swatch on our pants. And both the bleeding and the pierce resistance are useful here. The old pants serve no purpose.
Don't get killed out there.
So might as well just trash it. Put this one away. And this one, oh, we actually found this at a lower level and I kept it apart, thinking we would probably have something better by the time we reached level 20, but seems like I misjudged that one. Because we have 100 less armor and we don't have this much health bonus. So let's actually treat that as an upgrade as well. Then Silkswatch is gonna fix those, and then currently from the top row, lightning is gonna be the weakest. So rather than putting the molten skin in, let's actually get ourselves the, what was it again? The leathery hide? No, it's not the leathery hide. I so miss a search bar in here that I can just type what I'm searching for. No, like lightning, that it would just filter it down to only showing the lightning. Well, having search bars in Path of Exile in most of the interfaces really has spoiled me. If I were to resist lightning, what would I be called? That's the thing with the names. Once you see it, it makes sense, but until then, it's not a skilled hide. Rigid shell. It's a rigid shell, of course. That helps you resist lightning. Of course. Yep, put it in the body armor. So that goes to 67. Now the cap is 80, so we're still a little bit below that. And then let's take the other one out and put the silk swatch into our new pants. So take this out, we keep the add-on, and then we reapply it, and wonderful. Bleeding is nearly maxed again. Piercing is in a very good shape. And I must say I'm pretty happy with my resistances in general now. Ether and Chaos definitely leave quite a bit to be desired. But this early in the game you don't really encounter a lot of it. The ethereals in the underground lab, you maybe get a little bit of ether damage, but not really in big numbers yet. Once we have the Depraved Sanctuary that I think might have a little bit of chaos damage. It is an occultist hideout after all. And after that, I guess, because the cowboys, they're mostly physical and piercing based as well, I think, with a little bit of fire thrown in, and maybe towards the end the more special rare ones. Let's fix the bridge. So this is going to be the exit for next time. The special ones have maybe a little bit of ether because they will be ether touched, but they're going to be special encounters rather than the norm. So getting some ether resistance will be useful, but not all that mandatory quite yet. We have the remainder of Act 2 effectively to just work on the other resists. But I must say, I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. And also happy with this find, the bonus to skeletons as well as the +1 to the summon limit. I hope we're gonna find a lot more items like this, because I do like it. So, with that said, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.